This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You're watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
Now, over the last couple of days, I've been seeing like quite a few comments from the Wilder fans. Of course, it is just a minority of them, of course, which I thought that most of them had finally realised that Wilder avoided Joshua, but clearly not. There's still a few hangers-on who just refuse to believe anything other than Deontay Wilder is king. Okay, for whatever reason it may be, and it's great that you support him. Okay, I'm never going to knock somebody for supporting their own, and if you really like Wilder, then you really like Wilder. I like Wilder too, but when it comes to resumes and things like that, I'm very, very accurate with it, and I'm very, very honest, and Anthony Joshua has far exceeded Deontay Wilder by a whole country mile, maybe more. Okay, so I've got a couple of questions for the Wilder fans, of course everybody else listening in, of course, why not? And of course, give your answer as well. So people say, well, I say people, some Wilder fans say that Josh was a paper champion, and when Wilder gets hold of him, he's going to knock him out. Facts. And Wilder is a true champion, especially if he beats Tyson Fury. Facts. Again, so my very first question to you is, do you know the difference between a fact and an opinion? That would be my first one. Second of all, if Josh was only a paper champion and not good and a hype job and whatever else, then why is it that in 22 fights his resume far exceeds Deontay Wilder? Why is it that Anthony Joshua is a unified heavyweight champion in only 22 fights, yet Deontay Wilder has 40 fights and not unified once? So there's that one. And it's not like Deontay Wilder has not had the opportunity, because let's look at Anthony Joshua's first title win over Charles Martin. Okay, he wins the IBF world title. How did that fight happen? Well, because they offered Charles Martin $5 million. Why didn't Deontay Wilder, his team, offer Charles Martin $5 million? It's an in-house fight. Both of them are American. Both of them are with the PBC, Al Heyman. So that fight was a no-brainer. Okay, that would have been easy work to make. My answer for it, it may differ to yours, is that they didn't believe that $5 million investment in Wilder was worth it. They didn't see the bigger picture. That had Wilder beaten Charles Martin, and I believe he would have, he may not have got rid of him as quick as what Joshua did, but ultimately he would have beaten him, in my opinion. But he would be a unified champion. His stock goes up. That automatically makes him A-side going forward. So did they make a mistake, or did Wilder not want the fight? As I said, it was an in-house fight, unification, both from PBC. Al Heyman could have been put on Showtime. Why didn't they do it? So there's another question for you. Here's another question for you. Anthony Joshua against Vladimir Klitschko for a unification fight. Why did that fight happen, but Deontay Wilder versus Vladimir Klitschko didn't happen? Now, we could trace back a year or so prior to that, and there's a statement from Shelly Finkel where he says that Deontay Wilder is not ready. 33 fights in, just wins a world title. He's still a baby. He's still a prospect. He's not ready for a step up. These are his words. Shelly Finkel, his manager, the guy that you guys clamber on and swing from his testicles like your Tarzan. Okay? So why did Joshua take on Klitschko, but Wilder didn't? And I'll give you a little interesting fact just to help you with your answer. Shelly Finkel is Deontay Wilder's manager, okay? Shelly Finkel is also Vladimir Klitschko's manager. Again, that fight would have been easy, right? Would have been easy to make. So not only did he not want him to fight Vladimir Klitschko when Wilder first won the title at 33 fights, but at the time when Joshua took on Klitschko, they still didn't want Wilder to do it. Shelly Finkel, as I said, managed even Vladimir Klitschko and helped negotiate a deal with Anthony Joshua. Hence the reason why he knows so much about Joshua's deal against Klitschko, because he helped Klitschko get that fight rather than help his client take on his client. So Wilder versus Klitschko could have happened, and again, for unification. So there's that one. So that's two fights, that's two unifications that he could have had. Also another one, why didn't he take on the number one WBC heavyweight challenger, the silver champion in Dylan White, for $8 million. Why did he go fight Luis Ortiz for $2.1 million? Again, Luis Ortiz, he failed or was failing the medical 1 hour before the fight. They didn't want him to get in the ring. Charles Martin and Dominic Brazil were on standby to replace him last minute. But last minute, they pushed him through. So, you know what? Luis Ortiz shouldn't have been there. He was in no condition to fight. So there's that question. Why is he avoiding Dillian Whyte? Let's move on to another unification fight. Why is it that Joshua took on Joseph Parker when Deontay Wilder had first refusal on Joseph Parker? All he had to do was pay him $7 million. That's what he got against Joshua. Couldn't he have equaled that? He didn't even offer it. Didn't even offer him it. Joseph Parker's team said they couldn't afford it. But yet he's got $50 million. Why didn't Wilder's team want to invest in Wilder to take on Joseph Parker for a unification? But yet Joshua did. You see, Joshua's had to do all the hard work. He's had to collect the belts. You see, people say that Tyson Fury is really the champion, yet Tyson Fury beat one man, Vladimir Klitschko. Anthony Joshua also not only beat that man, but stopped him. And he had to take on an undefeated young champion in Joseph Parker and an undefeated young Charles Martin. And he's only just hit 22 fights. And already, in addition to all those unifications, he's got a Carlos Takam on his resume. He's got Dillian Whyte on his resume, which I hate saying that, by the way. And he's also got Alexander Povetkin on his resume. And he's also got Dominic Brazil, the WBC mandatory, on his resume. So all you people who say that Wilder has a better resume and is king, there's my question to you. Why would you think that? It's okay for you to believe that Wilder would beat Joshua. It's possible if he lands, but can he land it before Joshua lands one of his own? Joshua is a phenomenal counterpuncher. Wilder isn't. Wilder hits with his wrists on the back of the head. He swings like a girl. He punches like he's on a cricket green bowling. It's only a matter of time before somebody reacts quicker than him and connects on that chin that he sticks out whenever he's throwing the big right hand. So there's a couple of questions for you, and I'll be interested to know which of you Wilder fans can honestly say, hand on heart, that Wilder has a better resume. And why are you saying that? Why? Because he's going to take on Tyson Fury. Okay. Who's lineal. Okay. But he hasn't been in a real fight for 3 years, and you all know what's been going on for 3 years. You same people have been criticising Tyson Fury all this time. Fat, out of shape, he's disgusting, he should be banned for life, all that kind of thing. But now suddenly, because Wilder's fighting him, he's the second best heavyweight in the world. Suddenly, lineal's important. But yet lineal wasn't important when Vladimir Klitschko had it. Even though the lineal had been broken on several occasions. So the lineal can't really be traced back. Therefore, lineal has not existed probably no later than Lennox Lewis retiring. Maybe even way before then, because again, it was broken on other occasions. Muhammad Ali springs to mind. Now again, people say, well, he's got Luis Ortiz on his resume. As I've just said, they were trying to pull him from the fight 1 hour beforehand. And this isn't me just making something up. This is fact. Okay? And not only that, Anthony Joshua offered Luis Ortiz a fight right after he fought Takam because he was a WBA mandatory. Ortiz said no. Turned down the contract. Went to fight Wilder. Failed a PED test. WBA suspended him. I disagree with that one, to be honest. I don't believe the WBA should have suspended him, as the WBC didn't. But that aside, you don't even have that one. So anyway, there's a few questions for you all to mull over. And I'd like some honest answers rather than the hate, thumbs down, run away, all that kind of thing. Because it's just pathetic, really. I know you don't want to hear it. You don't want to believe it. You want to believe in your own fake narrative that Wilder is the number one. He may beat Joshua. Maybe. Unlikely. But he could. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about who has the better resume. Plenty of people have been saying that Wilder has the better resume. How exactly? And why is it that Joshua has unified on 2 occasions, but yet Wilder has not done once, when I've already given you 3 of the champions that he could have fought, but didn't do it? Again, why did he agree to all the terms with Joshua? Agreed to 15 million, which is 7-8 times more money than he's ever made in his career. He said, yeah, okay, fine, we'll do that. We'll go to the UK and we'll do it. He gets a contract, refuses to sign it because no date and venue. Yet he signs with Tyson Fury with no date and no venue. Go figure. He wanted a rematch against Joshua. There's always something that he wants. And there will always be something that he wants that will give him reason to not fight. Joseph Parker didn't get a rematch. Charles Martin didn't get a rematch. Vladimir Klitschko did get a rematch. Why? Because Vladimir Klitschko is a superstar. Is Deontay Wilder? Oh, hell no. Anyway, drop your thoughts below, click that thumbs up and subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.